Hi, my name is Winnie Johnson, and today's first podcast is on spirituality and marriage and what it takes to stay together. So, my name is Winifred Johnson. I am coming to you today with my first session on today's Spiritual Talk with Winnie. This is a new talk show being brought to you by ConnectStar, which is a spirituality platform offering anyone a place to connect with other like-minded people, gain awareness, teach others, and share your personal experiences through journaling, writing, or introducing your products and services. The platform was originated from myself in December of 2018 after an unexpected death in the family. Someone very dear to my heart and close to me suddenly passed away. His death was not forthcoming and truly devastating to myself and my family. And through this transition, I became in an awakened state, which ultimately led me to receive divine messages promoting me to create a space to help others and to locate people like myself who would be willing to play a role in creating unity amongst all mankind, peace and guidance, and to restore what has been mended in the balance of love. Also helping with creating the universal shift, which is something that we must do and very important to be able to do. Being in a place to really get to know God more is very, very important. Get to know yourself more and in turn find balance to live a long, happy, and fulfilling life. So you can find more about me and my awakened story on the ConnectStar platform. Spiritual Talk with Winnie will give a note and depth insight as to what's on a spiritual mind. So we will be getting into deep talk conversations and touch on a lot of topics with myself and other guests. So if you are interested in becoming a guest host or listening in, please visit our community platform for our next sessions, or you can revisit these recordings as well at your leisure, as they are posted on social media. Just click on the ConnectStar platform at connectstar.com, and you can also check them out under the YouTube hosting section. So, being that all that is said, and this is my first spiritual talk show, I wanted to get a little personal with my audience and give you an insight on me and the person who means so much to me and is not only my life partner and best friend, he is my husband. So please welcome today my guest, Ernest Johnson. Hi, Ernest.
Hi everyone, this is Ernest. How are you?
So we're going to talk today on this show on marriage and spirituality. And so I want to welcome you to how we became even closer during my awakening and some of our biggest challenges that we face and how we overcome them. Um, and the subjects are just our opinions. They are strictly as they are and are just opinions. So your experience may be different. Therefore, please use your best judgment when listening. And please don't take anything to the heart if it doesn't apply to you. We are just here to serve and help. So I hope this helps you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, so hello again, baby. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much. So, first, before I get to asking my husband some questions on spirituality, I want to start out with just giving you even more of a personal description of who I am and start by saying that my name, given at birth, is Winter. Just like the season, winter, spring, summer, fall, my first name is Winter. So my name is Winter Johnson. However, I am spiritually known as Winifred or Winnie. This name was derived and came to me after my union with my higher self And during the beginning of my awakened state of mind, it was what I believe sent to me. Over 40 years, I have been known as Winter. And now my friends, my family, even my husband has had to come to the realization that I am Winnie. Believe it or not, I have had a hard time going back to the name Winter because even though it was given to me by my birth mother, it's not a name that I know, you know, spiritually or that I now identify as. So I don't know. You can tell me what do you think? To my listeners out there in your spiritual journeys, do you feel like your identity has changed? Because for me, I have been Winnie forever, for a long time, and I know this, and this is what resonates for me. So, those of you who know me, getting adjusted to the new name can feel different. However, just work through this. This time of change. I am very comfortable even so, and still don't get all upset or freaked out or anything if someone calls me by my birth name, because that is the name that is was given to me, and that is the name that I am known by through the government and everyone else. But when you talk to me spiritually, please just call me Winnie. I love it. I love that name. And so yeah, so sometimes, my husband, he makes little jokes about it, but honey, how do you really feel about my name change? How did you feel when I said my name is Winifred, Winnie?
uh, I don't know. I mean, to me, you're Winter, so don't know. I mean, it's just a name. I know you feel different. You even hate to write it and all that, but I don't know. It's just a name, so it really doesn't bother me.
Okay, all right. So, um, I'm glad that it didn't, because there was so much that just comes along, not just with my name change, but just my personality and the way that I see things is different as well. So, um, I want to know, did you feel spooked out or uneasy when I first told you about my spirituality, my awakening, and what was going on inside of me?
I don't know if spooked out is the word. I mean, I can see you was just different. Um, I mean, that's the only way I can explain it. I could tell you it was different, but it was not like I had a choice in how it turned out. Either I had to deal with it or not. So, but it's cool. I mean, it's not an issue now that I'm dealing with it. But yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, so guys, you can probably tell that my husband is still not, you know, used to the difference and the change. I want to mention and point out that this all happened very recent. It is not something that has happened to me years back. This is something that has happened within the last 6 months, that I have experienced a very tragic death, that I have um, came into a spiritual awakening. I have received many, many messages from a God, the divine, through meditation, and also through angel numbers, and through visions and intuition. And so,
People come to visit.
yes, visitors, friends, people who I've met all over the world. So all of this has pretty much become new to not only him, but to me, creating a site and starting on a journey all within such a very small amount of time. But at the end of it all, although it seems so recent about my awakening, it feels like it's such a long time that I felt this way. I feel like, okay, I know it's like I've awakened to what I have been sleeping on so long ago. I don't really know a really good way to explain it except I just feel like, have I been asleep? Have I been in a sleep coma for all these years, but have always been in an awakened state, and that I just woke up out of it. So that's kind of how I can explain how I'm feeling at this moment. So what I'm going to do is in another 3 months to maybe even six, depending on how we're going, um, on our journey where we're going, I will follow up to see. My husband is still new to this. He's very well comfortable with the situation. He loves listening to my visions, things that happen to me during my meditations. He absolutely loves, he's even more closer to me, I feel, since the awakened. I see him in a totally different light. I've been with my husband almost 17 years, and I see him in a totally different light and even more closer to me along this journey. He also helps me as well. So, with great advice and just being a partner to lean on and to count on. So I'm so grateful to have him in my life every single day. Um, so I wanted to now ask you a few more questions, honey, and kind of get your outlook on some other things that are just happening, just not with me alone, but just from what you're seeing as you're learning alongside me. Because my husband is not fully in an awakened state as I am, but he is in an enlightened state where he does have a lot of knowledge as well, and a lot of things resonate with him too. So, um, what would you suggest, honey, since we've had so many conversations about some of the visions and learning, and you've been along this journey and learning along with me? Um, what would you suggest to someone who is an awakened person? Like, what would you tell them that you tell me? What would you suggest to them?
Just to simply follow their heart and not listen to what's being told to them by man or anybody. Just go with your heart because that's pretty much where the truth is. I mean, the brain has been confused with so much different information that the only true thing to go with is your heart and whatever you feel.
Hmm.
So do that. That'll be my advice.
Good. I love that because you told me that too. So I really, really, really resonate with that because I certainly do follow my heart because I believe that that is what shows me the way, especially when I'm confused in my mind. So I really feel like that's some great advice that you've given. Thank you so much to my listeners. I hope that you really take that in consideration, following your heart and going, getting your own research and your own knowledge is simply the best way to go because once you start getting out of the box and listening to this person and that person and this person and reading so much over the internet, because there's so much information to pull up and bring up, you just have to go with what you feel is right and follow what your heart says and not just go off of so many things that everyone's telling you. So that's a good, very great answer. Do you feel like we're closer than we've ever been?
No, no, I'm just joking. Yeah. Um, I mean, just the simple fact of, I don't know, just things are different. I mean, we used to watch a lot of crazy stuff on TV and just do a lot of different
Yeah,
stuff, but we don't even do that no more. All that's cleared up, so
yeah.
I guess that negative energy is out, so it's a lot better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. We did watch a lot of um
whatever.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
A lot of whatever. That's what we was watching. But now I am a lot more focused. I watch a lot of nature videos. I watch a lot of spiritual videos or something. Most of the time, I don't watch a lot of TV at all. So it's
Shout out Shepherd's Chapel.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We do. We watch Shepherd's Chapel. Me and my husband, we watch that quite a bit.
But anyway, yeah.
And that comes on just a regular yeah,
Yeah, you can find it.
yes, it's
Cartoon
gonna
Network.
differ. It's going to differ depending on your networks from where you're currently living. So, but it's Shepherd's Chapel, and it's uh where you can get your Bible verses chapter by chapter, verse by verse, and it's all just spoken
It's
um
just teaching knowledge in the Bible
teaching
and teaching.
knowledge.
That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It teaches knowledge, and it also gives you,
And it's
you know,
unfiltered. It's good. No, it's good.
yeah, it's definitely unfiltered, and and he speaks from the heart. He's very truthful. He's very knowledgeable. Pastor Murray, and so if
And
you
Dennis Murray
and
too.
Dennis Murray, yep, that's correct. That's
So both of
his
them.
son. So they both speak, and it's a wonderful, wonderful session that you can listen to. So if you get a chance, you can check that out as well. Again, it's called Shepherd's Chapel. Okay, so but yeah, so we don't really watch a lot of negativity on TV anymore because it kind of blocks us out from what is the normal and what they want us to know about. So that we don't really watch too much anymore. Do you feel uneasy when you hear stories of my visions?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I know it's the truth you're telling me, so it doesn't bother me. It's like, I mean, I feel like I know anyway, so I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
no, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, honey, because he makes me more open to telling him what I feel. Oftentimes I talk to people who may feel in the same way, may be enlightened or in an awakened state. However, they have to they keep it quiet. They're like, well, you can't go and say that and to people, and I don't feel that this is the time to be keeping things to yourself. I think that's more of a selfish act, honestly.
Hmm.
I think that if
Everybody should have teach. You can't teach by being silent.
yeah, absolutely. You cannot teach by being silent, and you have to, if you know any information and you can help each one, teach one. So try to make sure you get a message or say something to someone. If you know the information, share it with others, share it on the platform, write it down, write it in a poem, you know, um, a way of a poem or a blog or something, because there are people out there who will listen or need your help. And that's what we're here for. We have to share our information, speak it, teach it. All right. So, you know what, honey?
Hmm.
Studies show actually that a lot of divorces happen when a person becomes in an awakened state. Why do
I
you
can
think
relate
that?
to that. No, I'm just it's simply because a lot of things change and you don't do what you used to do. And some people can't handle that because they fall in love with who you were before that happened.
Hmm.
And when that usually happens, a person doesn't. I mean, if they stick to it and really know what they're doing, they don't do the same things. They do more positive things. They let a lot of negative stuff go.
Hmm.
And, a lot of people like negativity. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
So
what
they,
breaks it up. They can't stay with somebody that's that positive because they don't, that's like they don't know who they are anymore.
yeah, I believe that
Yeah,
because
that's all it is.
it's
So,
almost like because, and then the person that comes in their waking state, because you can see the truth, you begin to
right.
see who that person really is.
Or you become awakened and really find out the other person that you really with wasn't no good anyway, and they
Right.
was really terrible or something.
Because your intuition
Yeah,
kicks
because
in.
already then you know for real, you know the truth anyway about them. So,
Yeah, so it can kind of happen on both ways, you know. You can either tell about the person that you are with, it's not really the person that you should have been with, or you just cut ties um because maybe that person may not feel like you're compatible any longer, or they just choose to take a different direction. So that also can happen. That also can happen. So, honey, I said that I feel like you are not fully awakened, not quite yet, although I really feel that over time you will be 100% awakened. And that is only because of what I go through, but your journey may be different. Do you actually feel like you're awakened?
me?
Yes. Do you feel?
No, I know I'm not. I don't see none of the stuff you see. I mean, but I understand it and I know it's true. So, I mean, get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I'm still me and not so into love and spreading peace like you are because that's your main goal. That's your focus when you wake up every day. Mine is not quite that strong or none of that. So, it's, no, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, because my husband is still being beat up with society, and so he's still learning. Like I said, this is new for both of us. So, I will come back to us in another 3 to 6 months and see where my husband's mind is. So we'll keep a note on how we are now as far as how we how we're going on our journey, and how much he will actually know and feel differently in the end. Because I know there's no divorce for us, right?
No, no.
Okay, good. Are you learning anything from me?
Yes, I'm learning a lot of stuff. It's not like I thought it was, or you know, um, just a lot of different stuff. Just how when you meditate, when you go over and what you see and things that happen,
Mhm.
it's pretty cool. Just
Mhm.
just everything, just the change in you and what you do every day, and working on the site and stuff. It just shows your growth and how you change. So
Oh, thanks, honey. Well, I'm speechless.
yeah,
Okay, so
well,
yeah, so do you feel like you are still close to me or further apart? But that kind of we kind of
no, we've been close. I mean,
I
I guess we got closer, but yeah, it's a lot closer.
it's a lot closer.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but we was always pretty much good anyway.
Yeah, before that, like I said, we've been together for quite a long time. So we've always kind of had our closeness. But this, again, for me, I feel like has gotten us even more closer because I'm even more closer to God and understanding true love and with no judgments. And so some things that really might have meant something to me that my husband would have done that just kind of stirred me up really don't matter that much to me anymore. Other than the fact that I know he loves me and I love him, but some of the things that he used to do that would just really get me going, they don't matter. They're something that we can get through because there's a lot of other people who need our assistance, and we are willing to work together to help them. So we don't really worry about the small things. Don't sweat the small things. So, um, honey, do you feel like you can tell when someone else is spiritual now? Like just by knowing me, do you feel like you can tell when somebody else has it?
Well, I'm sure if I talk to a person long enough, because the truth always
Yeah.
will show itself. You know, I mean, especially the longer a person talks or does actions or anything around you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would say I would really have a pretty good idea. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely.
I think for me too. I mean, I almost feel
Just
it
by their
like
actions and their words and how they speak, and you can pretty much
pretty
tell.
much tell. Yeah. Like I said, for me, I can just automatically tell by there's a lot of different clues, like even with the language, the body language, just by what they're saying. It just I don't know. I can tell, I can feel it, you know? So, what would you say would be our biggest challenges on this spiritual journey right now? What would you say would be our biggest challenges?
Just staying focused and staying positive and just letting you stay on your game and me try to handle stuff in the background. I
Right.
guess
Like our family
that
and
would be distracting or try to come to you in an odd way or whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I sometimes well, just being honest, I mean, I don't think that I've been totally falling off from my focus because I know my mission, my assignment, and it's so strong right now. Some people that I've talked to though, right now they kind of feel like, oh, I've been there, I've done that, and this has been long enough for me, and I'm kind of now passing the baton, and that's all good. And I'm just glad of anybody who would want to spread love and share information, but for me right now, because I'm in my early stages and I don't know how it will be years down the line if I still feel this strongly. But the biggest challenge, I think, um, maybe to not let anyone knock us off our game. Because I think that as a unit, we know what we want with each other and we know what we want to spread to other people. And so, the biggest challenge for me is just other people trying to come into our space to try
Yeah,
to
I mean,
knock
but as
us off
long
our
as we
game.
stay focused and God will provide. So that part, I mean, we're gonna have challenges, but we'll get through it pretty
Yes,
much.
yes, we will. Yes, we will. So, what is a good way to suggest to someone who is looking to get married and have been awakened? What would you say? So I know question kind of throws you off a little bit. So let me reword it. So, what would you suggest to someone who is looking to get married and they are one or the other is awakened? What would you say to them?
I mean, if you, the relationship had already been there or what? See,
Right.
that's a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yes,
mean,
they've
yeah, I
already
mean,
been
why not
together.
get married? Why not? It's not like you have to stop living. You still have to balance between that and this. I mean,
Being awakened and
spiritual
being in the
and
mirror.
being down
Yes.
here. I mean, you gotta balance the two anyway. So,
Yeah.
and God said get married, so you gotta do that anyway.
Yeah. So you would just absolutely you would tell them to get
Yeah, I mean,
married.
it's the right person, not just anybody. But yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So yeah, that kind of sums it up. I think that overall in a marriage, you must be on the same page. You must be willing to go through the storm, weather through the storm together, in order to be stronger and fully able to commit to, to work together. No matter the good, no matter the bad, you're going to face those obstacles together. So I think um, with my marriage and spirituality as of right now is as strong as it's could ever be, and I can only ask for it to continue to grow. Only ask for the divine and God and my family and friends to stay in prayer for us and strong for our unit and for our children and for our families and to keep us focused. So I think you did a great job today, honey. Thank you so much. I know that
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I'm so glad that we got a chance to come on and tell you a little bit about us and get a little bit more personal and in depth about who we are and how we work together as a unit um, in our marriage and for spirituality. So my final word to the audience will be to tell you to follow your heart, whether you're with someone or not with someone. Continue to keep growing in your spiritual journeys. Continue to um, always look for new knowledge. My husband says keep God first, which is absolutely first and foremost. But always look for new ways to help other people, and don't stop doing that. Always try to teach someone something so that they can take the information. You planted the seed, and they will now take it and grow and give it to someone else for them to pass the information along. So keep strong, keep in faith, keep hopeful, and know that we are all together. We are all able, and we all can do this. So I love you all so much. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Again, if you want to know more about me or any of our hosts, any of our guests, you can please visit our site, ConnectStar.com, and that's with two R's. So it's ConnectStar.com. And I am your host. Again, my name is Winnie Johnson, and I look forward to another session on spirituality. Thanks for listening.